Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt with 86 Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Rival 100 by SteelSeries. And if you hear ambient rain or see lightning, that's only because I'm bringing the thunder with this review. I like that. I'm going to keep it. Alright guys, what's up? We're going to be taking a look at the Rival 100 mouse. Once again, not a brand new mouse that just came out. It's a mouse that's been out for a good minute, and it's by one of the top 3 brands. In my mind, one of the top 3 brands being SteelSeries. You've got Logitech, Razer, and SteelSeries. That's what I think of when I think of the mouse peripheral giants. There's other ones, of course, like Rocat and so on and so forth, whatever. Corsair. Anyways, but we'll be taking a look at the SteelSeries Rival 100. This is one of their entry-level gaming edition mice. It says it's forged in esports and you know, kind of sculpted by pros, I guess. I'm not really sure how they want to get into that. But anyways, this specific edition that I have is the Gaia Green edition, and it is absolutely ugly. But if you have some sort of tree built, or you've cut like a stump and built a computer inside of it and need something that matches with earth tony colors, here you go. Perhaps this one is the one for you. That doesn't change the fact that the overall performance of the mouse is pretty spectacular, especially for the price you pay. Right now on Newegg, I think these are going for $35.99. The MSRP price, according to the SteelSeries, is $40. So if that's the budget you're looking to spend on a gaming mouse and you want something good and you're a first-person shooter player especially, this may be the one for you. Now I made a couple key notes I wanted to go over real quick, so I'll try not to make this video too long, as the internet is scattered with reviews on this mouse already. This is just me kind of touching up and adding this for if you want a name brand product and you want to spend about $40 on a decent mouse and that's what your budget is, this may be for you. So we'll go over a few things. Some of this I thought was kind of interesting, and if you hear a lot of ambient noise, it is storming outside. I had to stop recording a minute ago and take a break because the power went out, but you know, hey, that's you know, life. So this uses an SDNS 3059 SS sensor. I don't know much about that sensor, so what did I do? I went and I researched it. I tried to find all I could on it. It's a proprietary hybrid build from SteelSeries, and basically what I take from it, and if you know more about it, please leave me a comment below because you may be well more versed in the sensor technology than I am. I do know that this is a hybrid between an ADNS model and a PixArt model, or so I believe. And where I come to this conclusion is ADNS 3050 is an entry-level Avago sensor for most of the lower-end gaming mice made by companies like Rocat, and if you pronounce it Rocat, sorry. But so I took that, I looked at it, and it says 3059. A 3059 is also a sensor made by PixArt, and it's called SDNS. I figure a play from SteelSeries because SteelSeries SDNS versus Avago DNS, and you know, the SS indicating that, you know, it's a PixArt design. Fun fact for you, PixArt and Avago are the same company. If you never knew that, they're not really competitors. PixArt bought Avago a while ago and just uses a lot of their architecture, leaves it the same, and sells it. So that being said, let's move on to the less annoying specification part of it and go on. We've got 3 feet here on the bottom, 2 smaller feet in the back, Teflon feet, and 1 big Teflon foot at the top. It's a pretty simple design. It weighs at 100 grams, weighs in at 100 grams, which is about 3.5 ounces if you're wondering. And it's a pretty light mouse with a nice design. The sides feel a little cheesy and cheap, but overall actuation button press is pretty good. These are a little stiffer for me. It would take me a little acclimation time to get used to that swap. They're actually pretty quiet click too, which is interesting. Not that it matters to me and my mouse. But we got 6 programmable buttons, which can all be programmed and changed around in the Steel engine, which we'll take a look at as well in this video. Custom DPI. This mouse goes up to 4,000 DPI or CPI, whatever you prefer to call it. And you can go in there and you kind of change it and find your good balance and set profiles for where you want your DPI to be while you're playing the game. You got a DPI toggle switch here at the top. And we've got a 3 million click life cycle, which is pretty average. And based off 3 million click life cycle, I would say they're probably Omron switches. I'm not 100% on that. So moving on, 16.8 RGB color. that's a pretty common thing to find in most RGB anything nowadays. I know that there's some larger millions of colors that they can go to, and 16.8 million has always kind of fallen short on me, because if you go in there and you try to pick a light blue versus a white, or a incandescent bulb kind of white versus another kind of white, it all sort of looks the same to me. It's hard to get good colors. So that's largely dependent on companies putting better LEDs in there that can adapt and change and actually, you know, be programmed to find a better and more true color. Well, that's really not performance related, so that doesn't really matter too much, but it might matter to you. I don't know, especially when you got a mouse like this. I don't know what colors you'd really want to go with. I mean, I guess lime green or tan to make it match. The scroll wheel. I did have an issue with the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel to press is a little tougher than I'd like it to be, and I find it largely useless to me when I'm using it. You want to be able to come in sideways and push, and you can, but in order to get that push, I ended up right-clicking a lot more than I wanted to. It's just, I wish it was a little more sensitive, a little more easier to use, to make it more of a viable and useful button for me. That's really my only drawback on this mouse, though, is when I'm sitting here playing, you want to come in sideways and click. It takes a little bit more pressure to depress, and that's you know, it could be better, but it's not a deal breaker for me, especially for the price and the product manufacturer that makes this mouse, which is SteelSeries, which I'm sure I've said 900 times. Right hand orientation, because you got your forward and your back buttons right here, nothing on this side, so it's not an ambidextrous mouse. You have to be a right-handed player to really utilize this mouse. I guess you don't have to be. You could go left-handed and pinky it, but it'll be most comfortable for right-handed players. The braided cable is non-existent on this mouse, which is something that, you know, I was thinking, when you spend this money, you get kind of a cheaper plasticky design. It would be nice to see some sort of better ABS coating or something like that for palm sweat, so you're not getting like grease and hand goo all over the mouse. But anyways, you know, overall it's pretty good. I wish it had a braided cable. The cable feels fine. It doesn't feel like one of those cheap China mice that are just going to fall apart on you. And it's pretty standard looking USB. It's nothing spectacular, fancy to write home about. And let's see. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to go over with this, and just kind of touch the base on it. Like I said, there's a bunch of reviews on the Rival 100 out there. If you want to go to the website and read what I wrote about it, you're welcome to do that, of course, because I want people to go to the website and get involved a little bit. I'm putting a lot of work into it, trying to make it a nice community website for us to use as we grow and hopefully continue to grow over time. But anyways, guys, the Rival 100, I would recommend this mouse at the price of $35.99 right now on Newegg. That price subject to change, but should never be more than $40. You can probably find them cheaper or used on eBay if you're looking to try something out. Perhaps Amazon sometimes has deals from their sellers on there for products like this. So go check it out. If this is a mouse you're interested in, or if you've been on the fence about, I definitely recommend it. It's a very comfortable mouse. It's really nice to use. It's got good lift-off distance. That's something I didn't mention. It does have good lift-off distance. If you're somebody that has to pick up the mouse and move a lot, you'll find that you're not going to be overly frustrated with where you go on the screen if you're playing CSGO or something of that nature. Anyways, guys, get subscribed. Stay tuned for some more videos. We got more stuff coming up. I'll eventually do what I promised, and that's finish the eBay trifecta up. That's coming soon, possibly tonight if I can get it done. But anyways, you know, just go read some reviews on this mouse if you've been on the fence about it. It's a good, trustable brand, and it's a good quality mouse. It's not going to replace my Zeus, but it is a good mouse, and I'm still looking for that one that I get, that I try, that I'm like, this is replacing my mouse for my daily driver because I like it so much. This comes close, but it just doesn't have all the buttons I need for what I do with editing and playing games. I use a lot of macro features in my Zeus, and you know, before the Zeus was the Naga Hex that I used a lot for the things I did to have shortcut buttons on the side. Anyways, get subscribed, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video that I do, and hopefully you've enjoyed this. Leave me a comment down below if you have a little more information, or if I missed anything and you want me to go over it. I'd be more than glad to go back and take a look at it or respond to you as quickly as I can. So take care, guys. Have a good night, day, whatever time it is. Hope you're enjoying your work a day. If you're watching this at work, it's good to know that you're a productive employee, and you guys take care. So anyways, we'll click on the Rival 100 here under My Gear, and it brings up right here that we have our 6 buttons, our scroll up and scroll down, and we can do a macro editor, which is pretty cool. So you can come in here and make some custom macros and save them. You can hit start and then start doing whatever you want and map stuff. That's pretty cool. Pretty easy to use dial over here so that we can turn up our DPI or CPI as they have it. It's the same thing. If you ever wondered between DPI and CPI, they are the same thing. So you look like you have 2 profiles here to swap between. So we can have one set to 4000 DPI or CPI, and we can kind of pick in limited intervals here, which makes sense because I think that, talking about the sensor earlier, the AD&S 3050 used to have between 500 and 700 issue with how well it was working and tracking. I don't know if that's anything to be concerned about here, as this seems to be some sort of hybrid sensor inside the mouse as is. But we've got that. That's pretty cool. We got our live preview button down here in Steel Engine, which I like, because in live preview you get to see things on the mouse which you can't see right here. But oh, I can't drag that off the screen. So if I were to pick a different color, or we'll just go with a preset, make it yellow, the live preview makes it yellow right here. And that's a good color for this puke green mouse. Kind of matches. I might leave it as a yellow. Don't mind that sound in the background. Anyways, so this is pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. It's not overly intuitive. It's not something that's complicated to use. You can just kind of come in here and do what you want to do. You know, CPI toggle, that drives me crazy. Wish they'd just call it DPI like everybody else. It's a less used term to use CPI, but whatever. Like I said, it's the same thing. So you got a quick record option right there. That's pretty neat. And you know, there's really not too much to say about it, but you can come in here and just sort of do as you will, you know, and set your profiles. So swapping between two profiles should be pretty nice. That way you could have, you know, oh, let's say we want a 500 DPI setting. That is just awful. I'm making giant circles here and it's barely going anywhere. I can't play like that. I play with a higher sensitivity, and I'll probably never go below 1250. Anyways, the live preview makes it pretty easy to kind of get an idea what you're doing, and that's really all there is to it. So when you're done, you can do save and that's all. Oh, if I didn't go over this down here, acceleration, deceleration. There should be something for polling. If there's not, I might not be seeing it. I haven't looked at Steel Engine since the last one that I looked at, which was a while ago. But if there's not something for polling, I would imagine there is, and I'm just not seeing it. If you know where it is, leave a comment down below, because I don't want to drag this out too long. Just wanted everybody to have a quick look at the Steel Engine 3 and why it's just such a good, easy to use interface. Nice large areas to click and set up, and you can just quickly come up with what you want to do as fast as possible. So that's pretty neat. And anyways, that's just a look here at Steel Engine 3. So we'll be moving on to the video and call it quits for the night. You guys have a wonderful night after enjoying the rest of this, if you so choose. Alright, bye.